Greetings, my Israelite brothers and sisters, heirs, joint heirs. Let me just make sure my screen is clear and clean. Okay, this is the final summation of this. Okay, this is it. And the truth shall set you free. So, that being said, it's been a wonderful week. Doing as many car cams as I've done as many as 2, maybe 3 a day. And so this is it. We will be having Bible study tonight, but the truth shall set you free. We had a great week. Thank all of those for hitting the like button. Thank you for sharing the series this week, talking about the truth. What is the truth? What is knowledge? Understanding and wisdom, how we should go about distributing it to those of our loved ones and friends, especially during this pagan holiday season. How do we share with them the truth as most effective so that nobody is rejecting or regurgitating? We talked about how milk belongs to babies, meat belongs to those that are full age. We as having family members, we have to gauge where people are, and so we know how much to give to them, how much not to give them at one particular time. So we did a lot this week. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for being a part of this car cam series. I've never done a series like this where we just hit the same subject all week long. I was led to because of the fact that this is the holiday season and we want to share with those what we know pertaining to the pagan idolatry and the pagan practices that's behind this particular holiday. And we wanted to share with people as best as that we can bring them into the knowledge of the truth. And that's always important because you want people to know. You want people to know. So share with me some of your thoughts. I'll read them. I'll read them as we're going along. I got several traffic lights, and I'll read what your viewpoint is when it comes to sharing the truth, and how much do we tell people? Do we give it to them raw, uncut? Do we break it down? And of course, it's always dependent upon whom you're dealing with. I'm sorry about that glare. It also is important that you know who you're dealing with. Because if you know who you're dealing with, you'll know how much to give them, how much to break it down, and what have you. Okay, so that's always important. I remember one time just sharing with my congregation that the Jesus, the picture of the Jesus that we have in our traditional Bibles, when you buy a Bible with pictorials in it, that is not a true picture of the Messiah. And it didn't set well. Didn't set well with some people. Didn't set well at all. It was the truth, but it just didn't set well. People did not know what angle I was coming from. Wanted to know what difference does it make. I don't think it makes a difference. I used to, when I came into the knowledge that was Caesar Borgia, some people say Michelangelo. I hate this glare. I don't know where it's coming in from over there, so I'm trying to change it. When I shared that, when I first came into the knowledge, it didn't bother me at first, until people started to say, what difference does it make? And I thought about it, and I said to myself, does it really make a difference? Am I questioning to myself? I started to process the question before I gave myself an answer. Does it really make a difference? Is it a subject that needs to be discussed? What the true color of the Messiah is? Is it divisive? Is it productive? Is it of value? And I initially said, let me think about this before I give myself a true answer to that question, because initially I was trying to figure out what is the purpose. After I taught the lesson, and after it bothered some people, and I started to question, was it a good lesson? Was it okay of a lesson to teach? And then I said to myself, wait a minute. I know what I study is true. I know that it's correct. I know that the pictures that we see in the Bible and the movie Ten Commandments, which had Ben-Hur and all of those guys in it, we knew that when I was growing, I thought that's what Moses looked like. I really did. I thought that pictures in the Bible were the true reflections of the characters that were in the Bible. And it did not bother me. It really didn't. I didn't think 2 cents about it. I really didn't. I didn't think anything about it. It didn't bother me. I just said, wow, man, this guy Daniel. You remember they used to have a picture of Daniel in the Bible, in my Bible, in my grandmother's Bible. She had a big Bible on the living room table. So did we. That was like a tradition. You had a big Bible on the coffee table in the living room that nobody was allowed to hardly go into. Open up, you always turn to the pictures, It was always in the middle of the Bible, right in between the pages that said Old Testament, New Testament. And you would go through the pictures, and I remember asking my grandmother, who's this and who's that? And she would tell me, oh, that's Daniel in the lion's den. Oh, those are the 3 Hebrew boys. They're in the fiery furnace. And, oh, that's Jesus. They crucified him. And, oh, that's Moses parting the Red Sea. When your grandmother tells you that, you really say, oh, okay, that's who they are. It didn't bother me. But once I learned that they were not that color, I taught the lesson. I thought it was of value to let people of color know. And it just shocked me when people started saying, what difference does it make? It's being divisive, And again, I came back, and I'm talking about the truth right now, how it will make you free. And I said to myself, am I being divisive? Am I being is it a necessary of a lesson? So here's what's my conclusion. My conclusion was this. I had no problem with the pictures in the Bible and what color the people were. I had no problem. But once I found out what color they were, I said to myself, and the answer to myself was, does it really matter? Am I being divisive? I said, wait a minute. It mattered to somebody, because those are not European faces. The real characters are not European. They're not blonde hair, blue eyes. They're not. So my issue was, It mattered to somebody. It bothered somebody. It really did. It bothered somebody. It bothered somebody so much that they changed the images of who the true characters were. Now, that's the truth. That is really what happened. So I said to myself, when I was going to formulate an answer to myself, was, I asked myself a question: Am I being divisive? Is it really necessary? And after I answered that, I came with that final conclusion. I said, yeah, I'm not the one that has a problem. I didn't change the images. It bothered somebody else. Because when I was a kid coming up, when I was new into the ministry, that's what I thought. I thought they were European characters. Right? That's what I thought. I didn't know it was Caesar Borgia. I didn't know that was Michelangelo painted himself. I didn't know that the characters in the Bible were changed in the Western world to look European. I didn't know that at all. Had no idea. Didn't even think about it. Didn't think twice about it. But it bothered somebody that they could not have those individuals in the Bible and accept the characters as they were. That's the truth. That's really the truth. So I said to myself, I don't have a problem. I'm not divisive. I'm not being a racist. I'm not being a person that cannot, that don't want to remain unified. That's not that. The problem's not me. I didn't change the images. The person that changed the images, the institution that changed the images, that's who's got a problem, not me. And that's the truth. That's the truth. And sometimes the truth hurts people. They can't handle the truth. They will go out of their way to change the truth in what it is. And that's the fact. And that's something that we have to accept, that people will go out of their way to change the truth so that they don't have to face the reality in the way that they want to see the reality. I can accept the Bible as long as the characters look like this. I want to know, this is the truth. I accepted the characters the way they were presented to me. I had no problem. But why is it that when they were presented to you, you changed them? Why? Who's got the real problem? Didn't know I was going to talk about that. Didn't know I was going to go down that road. But the truth is the truth. It's the truth. And how much of the truth can people handle? And people can accept the scriptures. They can accept the story. But the characters, only if the characters are reflective. So this is a serious issue. It's going to be a serious issue. It remains to be a serious issue, that if people in the Western world really knew the origin, the geographical area in which the Bible characters really, the origin of them, I don't know if the Bible would be widely accepted as a book of holy scriptures written by men who were inspired by God. That's the reality. That is the truth of the matter. Frederick Price said the most segregated place in America is churches. I just heard that the other day. I came across him, and he says he was talking about racism in the church. And you can look up Frederick Price, and he does a series on racism. And he says the most segregated place in the United States is churches. And perhaps he's right. You know, I don't like to see it that way. I wish it was not that way. I wish that people could genuinely fellowship together. And one thing I like about Bethel is that the diversity that we have, and the genuine love that we have. And I like that. I like that. And I think that's important. I really think that's important. Because all of us have the same father. And we're going to say it's Abraham, it's really Noah. Because remember, all flesh was destroyed except for Noah and his 3 sons on this side of the flood. On that side of the flood, nobody came through except for Noah and his 3 sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. And no matter where you come from, somebody, all of us, Oriental, Asian, Indian, all of us came from Noah, because those are his 3 sons. And from there, the earth was replenished. That's the truth. Nobody escaped the flood. Nobody else was created. Nobody else. There was not some other group of people. Everybody came from Noah and one of his 3 sons. Everybody. Okay, so let me just see what some of the comments I got here. Tia says there is going to be a huge falling away of self-hating Hebrews and Gentiles once they realize Yahshua Jesus Christ is black. Ricky says the reason Abba Father, what did you say here, Ricky? The reason Abba Father let this go so far was to hide us right under their nose. But many knew and know. Let me see what else we have here. Come on, scroll down. Pride goes before destruction. The wicked ones who rule this earth need everyone from the Bible to be right in order for us to follow them. Yahshua has to look like them in order for us to, in order for the masses to follow them. Somebody mentions Caesar Borgia. Yes, that's Caesar. Okay. It makes all the difference because by knowing who the people are points back to Yahshua Jesus Christ and gives him his own crown in his own nature. Very good. Very good input. I see all of us here. Everybody hit the like button for me. Everybody hit the like button. Just take a minute. Hit that like button before I leave out. Everybody hit that like button. I appreciate it very much. Hit that like button. Give me some likes. Thank you so much. They're coming up. Come on, just a few more. Let's go with the likes. All right. Thank you. Thank you for the likes. I'm going to end this. I'm going to go in here and pick up my daughter. I want to share that story again before I leave. So this morning, we pray every morning, and my daughter wanted to pray. And sometimes she'll say, oh, I want to lead the prayer. And so she says, as she was praying, she says, dear God, help my teacher, and she says the teacher's name, to understand that Christmas and Easter are pagan holidays and something to that effect. And I was like, oh, wow, you know. And then she says, oh, And dear God, thank you. And she names 2 students and two of her friends in her class. Thank you for helping them understand that to understand that Santa Claus is not real. Thank you for letting them understand. And I said, wow, you know, she taught them, because a few days ago she was saying that, she says, Daddy, some of the kids don't understand that. How come I don't believe that Santa Claus is real? And I was a little worried about it. And I says, well, I mean, is everybody against you? Are you okay? She says, no, I'm fine. It's just that they're telling me, no, he's real. He's real. Santa Claus is real. And I was just looking at him. I was just like shaking my head. And Daddy, they think something's wrong with me. But I can't believe that we don't even have chimneys in this state. And I asked them, do you have a chimney? And they said, no. They says, well, how's he going to come in? And how's he going to get in your house? He's not real. And they were going, she tells me, they said, nah-huh. You know how kids go. They don't go, uh-huh. They go, nah-huh. So I says, well, sweetie, you know, and, you know, when they get older, they will understand. And she says, yeah, but I mean, I understand. I can't believe that they think that guy is real. So when she said that in her prayer today, it just really touched me. It really did. Dad, she says, God, and thank you. And she named 2 of her friends for them seeing that Santa Claus is not real. And I was like, wow, that's deep. That's deep. 7-year-old teaching, you know. So peace. Love you all. Bible study tonight at 8 o'clock. Hope you all tune in. Thank you very much. And let me see here what we got here. I'm going to close out. Somebody says, great job, Chloe. Wonderful teaching. I see you're proud of her. Yes, very proud of her. And thank you all. Thank you all for tuning in this week in my car cams, putting up with me and just letting me be able to share the knowledge as God has given me as I drive to give to you, because I think this was a very important week as we go into next week, dealing with our family members so we can tell them as best as possible. Peace, shalom. We'll talk soon.